Yes, today will be band time. So good morning everyone, week 3 of, I'm sorry but it's still the strangest time I believe, but I'm keeping my little mind occupied and we've had requests for this yellow band, so here it is. I do still have about 9 of these to sell. I'm selling them cheaper than you get them from Merrithew. They aren't cheap bands, they're decent bands, latex free. So if you want to be the last 9 people wanting one, people have been picking it from outside today. It's the safest thing to do if you're on your way to a shop or something. Okay, so I'm going to teach you as though it's the band. If you had a dressing gown, you can prep what it is to hold something right. So the band will always go across the palms of your hands when your arms are forwards, and you'll gently hold the band. So the band is never gripped. So the first thing you're going to learn to do with that band is core connect. I've already got my sense of my posture on neutral, and as I push away, notice my shoulders, they don't suddenly hoik up and down. So exhaling, and now push and I'll reach away, and inhaling, reverse back down. And it's the bend to the straight without elevating the shoulders. The band stays more or less about ribcage height. So once your band's out there, that position there should feel nothing except the front of the shoulder opening from the front of the bicep, deltoid area, all the way through across the chest, and it kind of should feel nice. Your shoulder blades are drawing backwards towards each other. Think of creating skin folds. So as I hold that position there, I'm doing the very opposite of what you would do in your normal real life watching TV slumped in this corona era. Okay, so I hope you can see that alignment, and then release it all off. And so that's a straightforward position here. The next position I'm going to show you how to connect with if you've never used the band for a workout, which we don't tend to because we tend to use the reformer for everything. Step onto your band, make sure it's level, make sure your feet are level, so I use the edges of my mat. Hold the band lightly initially, and don't rush into kind of not feeling for symmetry. So I want to feel as though both band ends are held with the same amount of tension. So don't be afraid of just making that work for you. So here, I'm holding the tension in the band. I can walk my feet a bit wider now, okay? We've got this wider stance. Check down at your legs. There's no rush on this. This is a technical video before the live stream, or after the live stream is possibly when you'll see it. You're then going to see if you can push the band and pull. So you reach over out sideways and come back. Keeping the symmetry. If you're standing halfway down your mat facing obviously the screen, it's as though your arms are reaching about the length of the mat, but they're not reaching up to your neck. They're reaching away in a kind of diagonal line. You'll know it's right because it won't feel wrong. In other words, you'll feel nothing at the front of the shoulder. Everything will start to work into the oblique and the bicep. Okay, as you go down into your squat, that sense of alignment. So freeze frame here. So I'm down in the squat, I'm pulling my thighs wide, and I'm opening my arms. So I can now open the arms. I'm looking at the screen, and you probably will, but that isn't the ideal position. The ideal position is you're in a sumo squat. In other words, you're not tucked under. And as my arms go there, I'm going to stand up and let them come down to baggy. So I find a squat, push my arms out. So now it's a different feel to when we had our arms bending at the elbow. Sit your bottom back, push your arms wide, and come back. One more like this. You'll sit your bottom back, push your arms wide, and come back in. Okay, so from that position there, changing the band position again, if you take it to behind your back, this is another position you can use the band in. So it goes around where your middle rib cage is, think bra, base of shoulder blade, and again, this sense of having time to make everything level is what matters. So the band's here, across your back, elbows are bent, and again, find a relaxed knee joint, look down at your feet, make sure your standing position's there, and you can do a very similar activity. If this is done accurately, it's rotator cuff work. That, in other words, the 4 tiny, tiny muscles that help stabilise and centre your shoulder, align it, are involved in this. Again, if doing that isn't pleasant, then hold the band lighter and just get a feel for what you should and shouldn't be doing with this band. All right, so can you see how easy I'm making it? I'm relaxed through every part. I draw the pelvic floor up, shrink the tummy in, the palms again face the ceiling, and so that was quite easy. You can even send one arm out, and pull it back in, and exhale the other arm out. So the resistance, tension that you can feel, helps activate and feed all the muscles that make up your upper spine, front and back, and across the chest. All right, and just once more each side, get used to that. It's like the arm extends without the shoulder hoiking. If you look at my shoulders, they don't suddenly raise up. I don't twist to do this, and I'm going to let that go. And then another position with the band that we'll play with. So if we go back into the squats, take your band. Now, the band I'm using is huge quality and length, which is, you might need to get something like this, but play. Today's playing. I'm going to ask you to take your band and crisscross it. So now you've got crisscross. In that position there, with my elbows by my sides and my knees soft, if I do bicep curls, then I'm immediately feeling everything in the trunk activated. If I want it tighter, because I've got strength, so at this moment now, as I do this action on the breath out, because I'm using my breath muscles, which activate my core muscles, I feel my obliques as well as the effect on my upper body, okay? So bicep curl obviously goes for your bicep, but as a trunk stability Pilates exercise, then it should go for your core as well. So we do 4 more. Learning to control is both the tension as you go up, and then eccentric is the lowering phase, making sure you keep that tensioned equal timing. So from there, you can take it into your squats. I'll show you sideways. So go down into my squat. So we've got the crisscross, sit into my squat, heels back, and as I come up, I'm going to extend my arms wide. Come down, elbows, push through my heels, and reach my arms out wide. Bending at the elbows, push, and back out. Down we go, up we go. In the moment where you're open, it should look like this. Okay, so you get the chance to really feel engagement of the back of the shoulder area, so it's like the mid-back series. Okay, if you want to stay up, you'll now feel even more intensity as we take it to abduct and add. So you take the arms away without the shoulders hoiking, and you're looking for symmetry. So because I've got a screen, I'm able to see that I'm demonstrating for you alignment. And that alignment will be a shearing force unless you breathe. And inhale. Just do 1 more. Exhaling. And inhale. And to lose that moment, nod the chin, bend the knees and forwards, roll your spine down. And just stay down there. Breathe, let your hamstrings and glutes get involved. And then tuck your bottom under and up you'll come. Okay, from that position there, I'm going to show you how to get some floor work done. So sit down in the centre of your mat on the floor. Take your band again, and we'll lose the interaction with the upper body as being as dominant as it has been. Line everything up on your mat, okay, and take your hands into the band again. I would say if you hold your band without tension, about the knee joint area with bent legs, and then breathing out, if you leave your hands where they are and lean backwards, breathe in, and then breathe out as you bend your elbows, breathe in, and then lay your spine down. The band tension assists. Stay for breathing in at this base area. Breathe out. As you come up, bend your elbows, keeping your arms by your sides to help the rhythm be something that reorganises your spine. Okay, so my arms are bent, my band is by my knees. I exhale and I lean back, tuck the bottom under, and I allow the tension on the band to lower me down. Now you might find you need more tension. Big breath in just here. Exhaling, same rules apply. I nod my chin and look down my body. I need a bit of tension, so I exhale, and as my legs bend and my spine flexes at the ribcage area and the lumbar, and I sit up tall. Inhaling, backwards lean, exhale, flow, and look for everything going down equal tension, melting both sides on the breath out. So the breath out is always our rolling breath. So I have to watch my hips here. They desperately want to twist, and I refuse to let them. And again, I hope you're enjoying this. I am. Exhale, you nod, You look at your thigh bones, you pull the hip bones, rolling the lumbar into position and allowing the body to lengthen. Big breath in, exhale, and feel symmetry, no rotation, and let that go. So that's quite easy, isn't it? And quite pleasant. We're going to do the 100 position now. So if you take yourself down, remember if you want more help, just hold on to more of the band about halfway down the shins, and you'll find that you can naturally almost go down for free and then pull those legs up into the air. With your legs up in the air in tabletop, cross over so the bands and the hands feel as though they're where they should be. I'm just going to actually bring myself down the mat, just seeing where I am. Okay, so crisscross over. Hold on to the side of the knee part of the band, there's no tension in that moment. And then, keeping your elbows bent, exhale, push up into your long line, inhale and back. Breathing out, rolling. Keep your arms bent, inhale and back. Breathing out. Up you go, and inhale and back. This is a really pleasant way of mobilizing the thoracic spine with the breathing. Remember the breath out, it's a smiling, rolling spine breath out. Always roll with breath out and back. And then you can curl this time and stay. So now I can pull my hands down to the floor and inhaling. Exhale, I expand, and inhale, slight release. Breath out. Inhale and back. 2 more. So as you curl, you pull down on the band and you reverse back. 1 more. And inhaling and back. And if that was all in your neck, just don't hold the band as tight. So having 1 leg in the band now. Big breath in. Hold that band and exhaling. I roll up and over. So it's as though you could have your left leg in the band and you reach and roll. Now people who are new to Pilates or have stiffer backs, this could be a really pleasant way of keeping you moving with your legs straight or as straight as your hamstrings allow, so it can be slightly bent. Keep going. It can also have it so that your other leg's up in the air in tabletop. So what you're doing is you're offering an assist with the band leg, but it therefore makes it more intense on the obliques because you're more accurate in your position. Yes, your pelvis is in imprint. So I've got a lower back in imprint. Okay, I'm going to change legs this time. So both legs are up in the air. Take your time. Position, 1 leg to the floor. Hold the band with your legs, with your hand, not your legs. So holding the band, same leg up in the air, same hand on the band. Although you could argue you could do the opposite. So hold it actually with the opposite, and in holding that position there, holding the leg, and rolling up. So I'm keeping the band, hand, leg. That arm is staying bent as my other arm's behind my head, and I'm rolling up and down. I feel comfortable with a very straight leg. I'm offering some resistance by pulling down through the arm that's holding the band. My elbow stays bent and it helps me roll. Remember, you can then take your other leg up in the air if you need to. You can also have that leg slightly bent if you need to. But I think most people in our session could manage this quite easily. Last time. And when that goes, bring yourself up to seated. Okay, from there, you're going to do your glute bridge. So for this position here, you'll end up with your band by your side, over your belly, hip bone area, and lay the spine down. So put your band over your pelvis, and then hold your arms flat. Put your heels under your hips. Big breath in, and breathe out, and roll, and feel the band pushed up with your hips. Breathe in and breathing out. Reverse back down again. So the further and the tighter you press down with the hands, flatter the hands to the floor, and back down. Remember, I said you don't grab the band. Exhale the ribs,
feel the hip push against the band. That'll help you connect more efficiently with your glutes as you go back down, and repeat. And rolling down. Look for both sides to activate simultaneously. The whole alignment check of looking at your thigh bones being absolutely level matters. Last time, breathe in, exhaling, roll, pressing down on the band. Push up with the hips on the band, press down with the hands on the floor with the band, and melt that all the way down. Okay, your next position, you're going to take the band behind your hips, behind your thighs. So I'm kneeling up. That's the kneeling up position. I'll show you a front. This is harder to find, but when you get this, it's a lovely, lovely feeling, okay? So you're going to hold the band across the bum cheeks, okay? So if you have no bottom, which is a postural thing, it's not because you're not active. Most people have a bit of a bum if that's part of your posture, so your lordotics and your kyphotics tend to, but your sway backs and your flat backs tend to have nothing here. I have enough for both types of posture. Anyway, I'm here, can you see that? And I can feel the tension, so when I push my arms away, I'm like, yep, I can feel that around my clothing. Now, if you were wearing silky, slippy clothing, like your silk knickers, because I can't see you, then that would slide off. But if you're wearing cotton, it should stay on. So the next position is to go to your hands and knees. So you can see now, so my hands are pressing down against the band on the floor. And the first thing we'll do here is check our alignment. And then you've got your cat stretch. The band will stay in place if you round. Exhale, pelvic tilt. Push against the floor with your kind of back of the hand position, in other words, the heel of the hand. Breathe in, and then breathing out. See if you can push the band pelvically and extend the spine. Big breath in. I'm thinking about the band as I feel it helped me find my obliques. My obliques are my side rib cage to hip bone area. I breathe in. As I breathe out, I push the tailbone up, feel the band increase fractionally in tension. Breathe deeply in, and then I'm going to come back till I find myself absolutely in all fours. From that position there, as I keep hold of the band, I'm going to exhale, send one leg out, pull it back in. Exhale, send the other leg out, pull it back in. This is you just waking up a gentle stability in all fours. It should be relatively easy. Okay, so I know I've done that. The next thing is to exhale, push my arm forwards and return it back. Breathe, core connect, push my other hand forwards and pull it back. So I'm feeling the tension and working with it. As I reach, fingertips reach forwards and return back. Everything, if you breathe this exercise, is pleasant. And then finally, tuck your toes under your feet, big breath in. Exhaling then, push into the band and find your pyramid. Inhale and lower to a tap. Exhale, stretch that band. You'll feel everything connect. Inhale, knees are level and tap. So I press my sitting bones up, and rather than thinking of the move, I think of the tension I can feel in the band. One more moment, breathe. Exhaling. And inhaling and back. Now, because you've been on your wrists a long time, I'm going to encourage you to just let your bottom go back in the hope that your band doesn't roll up your non-bottomed position. Take a breather here, because the next position is going to be hovering knees and breathing with what we call the rock. So I'm here, core connect, toes are tucked under, hover your knees and... Obviously, if you feel twisted, check it out. Again, your emphasis will be feeling through the armpit and the breath. I'm going to pick up the pace, pushing and pulling with my lats and serrats. I'll feel some of my quads active, but I'll definitely feel my obliques. Three more, two more, one more, and I'm going to lower down. Reach your hand, and down you go. So you've got the equivalent of child's pose stretch. Breathe, 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 and then let that go. Now, just let your band go. The reward for what you've just done is, if I now ask you to float yourself up into pyramid, and back down again, you'll feel as light as a feather. More of that later. That's known as a myofascial connection we just made. Okay, let's finish this little workshop with another standing move. There are lots and lots of things to do with the band, but I'm a bit reluctant to plough into moves where you're not quite sure what it is you're meant to be feeling and how. The band can feel quite aggressive. I don't want that. I want you to feel great. So we're going to do a single leg lunge with this because we all love our lunges. So put the band under your front leg. I'll show you different positions. So let's go as though we're at the bottom end of the mat again. So remember our squat. Take your front leg forwards and then find the lunge. So you've gone from your squat into your lunge. I'm trying to decide which one to do first. Yeah, we'll do the hinge lunge. Then you take your band to whatever bit of tightness you want. And then you've got lift and lower. So I'm bicep curl and release. Bicep curl and release. If you wanted more, as you come down, you could push forwards and pull back. I personally think at this level that we end up making sure we get a bicep curl in this diagonal line and release. And if it's not intense enough, just hold the band with more tension. Remember the band, you've got your fists pointing forwards, and that should feel quite nice. So if I push and sit back now. So I've now added a reach. Take your arms as wide as your mat is in your mind, so you've got the kind of horizontal part of the mat as your reference. And remember, if it's in one shoulder, don't use it as far, or take a single arm at a time. So you can do single arms reaching, alternating. The band work will always feel nicer if someone's got a shoulder issue when pulling to the side. So you end up palms to the ceiling, to the side and back. Okay, I'm going to stand up. Switch legs. I'm starting from the centre on that. You can start from the bottom end if you want. Whichever way though, hinge at the hip and take your leg back. Make sure you feel aligned, centred, and then find your squat. Remember in this position, you still want the space between left and right. So I hinge backwards. I play around with the tension on the band, and initially I'm just going up and down. Sit back towards my heel, just as I turn and look at the screen, and back up. So for down and up. For some reason, I can't seem to stabilise here. There you go. Hold it. Pull your bottom backwards. So initially, I'm simply holding my arm so that as I straighten out the back leg and push down through the front heel, I'm already getting some oblique work. Then we can take it into push, symmetry, and pull. Push, and pull. Keep your chin in. And remember, if this is too intense, try one arm. Try just allowing your arms to relax, okay? Stay down this time, and you can play even with the arms going in multiple directions. So pulling away from each other. Whichever way, when you're finished, standing up, the rules still apply. That should have got straight into your bottom, hamstrings and glutes, but involves some upper body. The band, when your feet are on it, and you're pulling up, will connect your obliques, okay? So I'm going to leave that work out there. In terms of a stretch, let your band go, because you might as well, and do this straightforward rolling down. So big breath in, feel the air, breathe out, breathing the spine down. Head hanging, arms hanging. Keep the legs lengthened, but slightly soft. Let the head hang, and then walk yourself forwards. I would just find myself onto my knees and do a chest press. Why do I do these chest press frequently? That's because if you make any kind of faulty movement pattern, it's usually the front of the shoulder that gets aggravated. So I feel that this move, sending your elbows back, corrects anything that shouldn't have been. And in these days of more seated and also more stress, it's this part of the body that tends to show the stress. Okay, and when you've done your quotient, just flow backwards. It's the chair pose that is yoga. Arms can be by the sides, arms can be wide open, whatever way you want to do it. Shoulders have to relax, and there you have it. So, let me know if that was useful, and also I will do more and more tutorials. So as we're getting quite good at our live streaming and being able to day in, day out just create videos, I will do more tutorial workouts for you, so that you can kind of go to a bit of a technical moment in between the workouts. All right, lovely seeing you again. Hope you enjoy this workout, and we'll speak soon. Bye.